Alright, well, hello everyone. Long time no see. Totally didn't have just a partial stream earlier of a different game, but hello. Welcome back to Kerbal's space program. Tell you what, first thing we're going to do we have our target set? We do. Okay, that's good. We have a lot to do today. There's a lot that I want to get done, so there's a lot that I'm going to do. That totally made sense. Anyways, I'm going to cancel this alarm, and I'm just going to jump right to this maneuver. Alright, and of course it's going to slow us down a little bit. Alright, so delete on close. We can close that alarm. And then quick save and jump just a little closer. But this is our maneuver to get us about 8 kilometers away from this asteroid. I mean, it's not great. The asteroid is currently in the sphere of influence of Kerbal. In fact, if we find Kerbal, just right there, we're in very similar planes, so we should be able to spot approximately where it is. It's not very visible right now, but it's also very small, but it should be somewhere out over this way. But it's going to be a 7-second burn. And we have about 30 seconds till this burn, so I'm just going to time warp ahead just a little bit. Alright, so, and the 3, 2, 1, 0, burn. And it's intersect 2 that we're going for. Oh, slightly overshot. So I'm going to go ahead and point radial in. Bring this nice and close. There we go. Okay, so now I want to see. There's a lot of orbital lines going on here. That's fine. So if I were to burn, that's slightly late. So let's grab right at that intercept if we can. I believe it was like negative 490 that I would need to burn. That would be about 7 seconds. Am I thrust limited right now? I'm not. So yeah, about 6 seconds before we get there, I'm going to start correcting our velocity. So I am going to quick save, and I'm going to go 5x at first, and then I'm going to jump there. Alright, so there it is. Or no, that's Minmus. I saw that moving, so I thought that was the asteroid. Can't actually currently see our target. Oh, it's over there. Wow, that is very visible. I want to point target retrograde. Target retrograde. I clicked at target. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this towards anti-target. So I need to push it slightly this way. And it's saying we're not going to have an intercept. Is that just because we're a little too far away? Yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to point at target, because target prograde and target should be pretty much matching right now. And there we go. So we have an 85-meter intercept, and I can close that maneuver in about 55 seconds. And we know that this will take like probably like 2 seconds to kill off. I'm gonna go ahead and arm this so that it's out. I'm gonna quick save, and I'm gonna time warp ahead just a little bit. Okay, there's the asteroid, and I'm gonna kill off all of our speed. Oh, and I actually killed off too much speed. Oh, whatever. I'm going to target the center of mass, and I'm just gonna point at target. I'm gonna pull it slightly. There we go. And then just point at target. So right now, our orbit is going to be an escape orbit, and we knew that. We have 900 meters per second of delta V left. That's not great, I'm not gonna lie. In fact, are we past? Okay, so next thing I'm gonna do is as soon as we grab onto this, I'm gonna have to start doing some pretty quick maneuver planning. So we're targeting the center of mass currently. This is a big asteroid. And this is just a class B. Is it gonna grab on? It doesn't seem to want to grab. It's not grabbing, even though this is armed. Come on, grab. Really? This thing is like not grabbing. What is happening here? I mean, at this point, I'm just crashing into it over and over trying to get it to grab, because it's really not wanting to grab. Really? I mean, I feel like we're just kind of wasting delta V right now. Like, this should be grabbing. Okay, I'm just gonna load a quick save. Okay, so give me target, please. Nope, give me target. So I'm gonna go ahead and disarm this guy. And then I'm gonna quick save. Hmm. I mean, I guess we shall see. How long until this intercept? About 8 seconds. Alright. Gonna quick save here, and then I'm going to target center of mass, quick save. Oh, are you not able to raid me? You should be able to. Let me check my settings real fast. Um, I think it's a minimum of 1 viewer, so I think if your thing is already ended, like maybe everyone's already left, it won't allow it. Because I can't set it below one viewer minimum. Okay, so let's go ahead and arm this guy. see if it works this time. Go in slightly faster. See if this is it gonna grab this time? That is the question. It's not grabbing. And I'm very confused as to why. Oh, there it goes. Okay. And wow, our delta V dropped. Okay. In that case, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna bring this guy into an orbit. So at this periapsis, I just need to get captured. Okay. Interesting. We apparently don't have enough to get captured. What if I threw in some radial? No, I don't need to set a target right now. Huh. Okay, so let me just burn retrograde as much as I can, because we're going to have to catch this guy now. I want orbital retrograde. Why are you still pointing at target? Probably because your center of mass isn't exactly centered anymore. That would make sense. Like, orbital retrograde. Yeah, okay, so it's not exactly on the center of mass, which is kind of annoying. I mean, otherwise, let's see, because I'm trying to think. Alright, 1 second, I'm thinking. This may just be a failed mission. But we can learn for next time. So what do we have coming up? I may delete this alarm as well. I mean, granted, Class A asteroids are a lot smaller, but I mean, for this just being a Class B asteroid, I was not expecting that. Gonna warp a little closer here. Yeah, I mean, it's struggling to stay on what I'm telling it to. Okay. Yeah, so I think we call this a failed mission. So let's go back to the Space Center. And that's okay, we can learn from our failures. Alright, there we go. So, let's go to mission control. Let's cancel this one, and let's cancel this one. So we do lose a bit of money, but that's okay. More repairing stuff. Gonna decline this. We can do that real fast. Gonna decline this one. Decline a lot. Oh, actually, I could have taken that surface outpost. Do we have a surface outpost on the Mun? I don't remember. 35 years for this one. Gonna not bother with it for now. Let's go through that one already done. Extract 800 units of ore from the Mun. We can do that. So we have a Dunastone mission? Okay. That one I accepted last stream. This one we can do right now, I think. We also have that Moho window coming up. Is this just a flyby? I believe it is. Yeah, which is fine. We also have, our 2 messages for canceling contracts. So, which contract was it? It was Bonsai 8. All right. All right. So let me grab. Come on. Let me hide all these asteroids for a second. That is a lot of orbital lines we don't need. Let me grab Bonsai 8. So you want your new orbit to be this one, right? 5, yeah, okay, so that's this orbit. So let's go ahead and fly this one. Alright, I don't know if 737 Delta V is going to be enough for this. We're going to find out. So, are you hitting your ascending or descending next? I think ascending. So at this ascending node, which, let me click. We're going to burn this direction, and probably some retrograde as well. That's a lot more Delta V than I thought it would have been. But I think we're actually going to have, like, barely enough. I'm just trying to get it to match planes for now. So slightly less. So yeah, and then we can adjust from there. And this is an old probe core. What is this? Hex? Yeah. Let's hide that alarm clock. Prototype Hex? Yeah. Okay. Oh, and we used 4 sparks on this one. Alright, so I'm going to quick save and warp to there. It is still an RA100. So this is after we had the RA100s, but clearly our electric technology was lacking. Must be passing over the pole right now. Our heading is changing quite dramatically. Forgot how loud those engines are. Alright, slightly overburned, but should be relatively fine. Yeah, 0 degrees. In fact, we could actually just turn retrograde and burn right now. And it will probably be close enough. Yeah, so right about there. Alright, so hold stability for 10 seconds. There it goes. Alright, so that's that contract complete. And now we need, let me just go to the tracking station. Because we need science data from space around Minmus. So that's going to be, that's the MUN. Give me Minmus. So if I can find, yeah, Empress 5 station. I'm going to go ahead and fly this. Alright, and I'm going to check on this guy. And this should have full probe control. I believe the probe was like hidden somewhere in here. Maybe not. I do not remember. But we actually do have, 500 science waiting for us. So I'm going to go ahead and transmit this science. And it's going to take a minute, so I'm going to time warp. Alright, so there's that contract complete. And did I have any others that I could do right now? Oh, we do have a couple of rescue missions that we need to do. Hello, Mike. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I don't think there were any others I could do right now. Let me check the tracking station. Okay, so let's head up to the MUN. I don't think we put any mining stuff. Oh, thank you for the follow, Bluetooth. I don't think we put a mining station on the MUN. I know we landed on the poles somewhere, I thought. That's a Diamond 8. Let's look at the Diamond 8. Was this... I think this was our ground station, but I don't think it was... I don't think it had mining equipment. I want to say it did not. Yep. Come on, KSP. There we go. Yeah, it did not. It does have this, though. And we have full probe control. Because I guess I remembered to put a probe on here. I did. So let's warp to Sunrise. Because while I'm over here, I may as well transmit this science. Alright, so that's 500 more science, and this guy is going to continue doing his experiments. So let's go ahead and add some of our data. There we go. And this one, I guess, was just to get somebody experience. Can we level up our crew? Okay. Alright, so that's that. I don't believe we can conduct any more experiments. So let's head back to the... Oop, tried to quick save. Let's head back to the Space Center. Okay. So, another rescue mission, we'll take that because it saves. I literally just did that. That's super annoying. So I'm gonna decline that. Normally I would just take that to complete it real fast. Taurus contracts. Ooh, a Duna satellite contract. Okay, I'll take that. When is our next Duna window? It's not for a while. This is a flyby. That's annoying. Let me look for a Duna. Hang on. How much? What kind of orbit did it want? So, this orbit. Oh, it wants a retrograde satellite. That's interesting. Whatever. I'm just gonna say, give me an insertion burn and plot it. Now, is that at the same time as this guy? Not exactly the same time. I think I'm gonna do this one though. Now I wanted to check, are there any places we don't currently have a transfer window planned for? I'm pretty sure wherever we sent those other 3 satellites, we don't. So like we have Moho, we don't currently have an Eve one. So it might be worth looking for another Eve window. Which is gonna be there. And that is down here, okay? We have a Drez window. Of course, that's just an insertion, or a flyby, I mean. We have Jewel, we have Sarnis. Let's go ahead and do another Erlem window, but I'm gonna say, like, give me a, I'm gonna say give me that big of an orbit. So add that alarm. Give me the same thing at Nidon. Add that alarm. Do we have a clock window? We do, okay. But in the interest, I need to delete this alarm. Now, in the interest of time, actually, I mean, we could just do a quick Moho flyby craft. So I think I'm gonna base this off the other Figaro crafts. So I'm going to grab the I don't believe it saved the Figaro 5. So I'm gonna grab the Figaro 4. This doesn't look right. This is the Figaro 6, that's why. I need the Figaro 3. No? Looks like the same thing. Yeah, because this has a lander can on it. So this is our rescue craft. That's right, I accidentally overwrote one of the craft. Okay, so that's going to be tricky. Is the Figaro 2 the one I want? No. Not the shroud. Yeah, this one's... Okay, so I did overwrite one of the craft. So let's grab... Let's see. I don't want to grab then. It's going to be tricky. Let's just go ahead and grab the Figaro 6. And I can just take off some stuff. So I don't need it to return at all. So I don't need the crew stuff. I can take these off because I'm not going to need those. But I am going to add science equipment. So let's go ahead. So this will be the Figaro 7. And below this, I'm going to add a Science Junior. I'm going to add a magnetometer. On the other side, I'm going to add a mystery goo. And I'm going to add this, and then this and this. We don't technically need this, but whatever. That's all the science equipment. So go like that. And that should be fine, honestly. This is going to be way overkill for what we're doing. Oh, tell you what though. Instead of these, I am going to add an RA100 because I can, which means I do need to slightly edit the fairing. Because my thinking is, if we just have a bunch of RA100s kind of floating around in deep space, then our communication network is going to have a bunch of holes that would otherwise be there theoretically filled. There's going to be, like, the more relays we have just kind of floating around in space, the less likely it is that we're going to lose connection, is my opinion. Now, yes, technically you should have a relay network, but just in this early stages before we do missions like that, I think this is going to be perfectly fine. So custom 1 is the Gigantors and custom 3 is deactivating the canards. Okay, good to know. Okay, so I could go ahead and say, like, you know, custom 2 is all the science equipment. In fact, I'm going to. So custom 2, run report, log data, observe, conduct, log data, and log data. There we go. But this should be good to go. I guess technically we don't need it yet. Because what I'm going to do is I'm immediately going to say, give me a new craft. And I'm going to open that. But instead of... I'll keep these Gigantors, but I'm going to add RTGs. And I'm just going to add a bunch of them. I'm just going to kind of stick them on the side here because this doesn't need to be super neat. It's not landing anywhere. It's just for it's just for deep space missions. So, and it's literally just going to be the same craft, but with RTGs added. So now what I want to do is I want to leave here. If the game would load. And I'm gonna, oh, that was weird. I quick saved and then I just out of habit. I'm gonna warp ahead. And I need to zoom into something, but I don't think I can because this is gonna be very flashy. But in the interest of time, I'm just gonna send these two craft off and then focus on the Helvetica 1. So I'm gonna warp pretty far ahead. I'm sorry about the flashing. Oh, and there's a contract complete actually. Hang on. Because we got our ion stuff finally. Didn't unlock anything, but we finally completed that contract. Oh, you know what? I could have been unlocking something in the tech tree. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, this is a tough decision because I really love the narrowband scanner. Oh, man. Let's do large probes. Because we're going to be getting a lot of science, so I'll get experimental science in a minute. And I'm going to go ahead and save here just so in case the game crashes. And then let's continue warping ahead. I'm going to warp ahead like about an hour ahead of the alarm. I can go a little further. Yeah, about there. And then I'm going to launch the Figaro 7. Because this is the one that's going to Moho. So we're going to launch this vessel. And something I did want to acknowledge, because somebody did point this out to me privately. One of my friends that plays KSP, but doesn't really, like, you know, they used to play it, but they don't really, like, stick around too much for my streams. They're just busy. But they did point out that, like, and they also watch other KSP YouTubers and streamers. They pointed out that the way I play KSP career mode is very much like specifically with on my stream, because this is not my normal playstyle. I normally just do one mission at a time, but that kind of gets boring, especially with your long time warps, and then it's like you're 84 years in the future and you've just landed on like Gilly. Anyways, I digress. They said my playstyle is very similar to an RP1 playthrough, and I was like, I went back and looked at one of the RP1 series I watched, and I was like, huh, that is kind of how I'm playing this. However, I've seen people play through like RSSRO RP1. I do not think I have that skill level, so anyways, we're gonna launch this guy. If I recall correctly, yeah, this is a pretty low thrust to weight. But especially like reusing craft like this and just editing one portion of it, that's very much what you do in RP1. Alright, so pushing this on up to around 100 kilometers. Alright, and I went slightly above, of course, because we'll lose a little bit of height to atmospheric drag. But I'm going to go ahead and I guess I can just stage when I'm ready to deploy the fairing. Alright, fairing deployment. Alright, and we can unfold our solar panels, turn off control on the canards. Alright, and of course, once we reach apoapsis, we are going to circularize. Oh, and I overshot. Alright, about there should be good enough, so let's get turned on over. Alright. Of course, it takes forever for us to turn when we still have this bottom portion. Alright, so about 10 seconds till I burn. Alright. Slightly overshot, but that is perfectly fine. Okay, so this is saying that the transfer window is in, 59 minutes. We, of course, know that that is not the case. So I'm going to show the eject angle. So we need to eject here. And of course, I need to set Moho as our target. Set as target. And I'm going to add 1542.2 to the prograde and negative 79.6 to the normal. And then I'm going to go to the graphical editor, because we know, of course, that this is going to need a few orbits added, because these alarms tend to be a couple days in advance. And we have a MUN encounter on that one. So, interestingly, we're actually not getting an encounter at all right now. So let's get past this MUN encounter. Okay, I'm gonna push slightly more prograde. Oh, that is very close. Well, it's not really, honestly. Okay, there we go. We just need to add a few more orbits. Moho is deceptively difficult to get to. Oh, and we have a MUN encounter right there. Okay. So I'm going to focus view on Moho. Close arm details, please. How is this encounter looking? Not great. So if I were to do other way. Oh, and we lost it actually. So I need to do some radial here probably. And then I'm just going to back off on how much we're actually putting in. Now this would be a nice close encounter. And of course by nice close encounter I mean we're slamming into the planet. But all we're doing is going for a flyby. So I'm kind of okay with this. Can I get it slightly... I'm actually okay with that, because the highest peaks on Moho are, like, I don't know, 5 kilometers. And this would all be done on our lower stage. So I'm going to delete this alarm. Oh, we have our Joule transfer coming up in that point, before that happens. Oh, that's tricky. Tell you what. I'm gonna add this alarm to the docket. I'm just gonna leave it pointed at the node, and then I'm gonna go back to the Space Center. As soon as things load. Okay, so I'm gonna just warp until this window. And again, I apologize for the flashing. Alright, good enough. This will be a nighttime launch, and that's perfectly fine. Alright, so this time I'm going to launch the Figaro 8 because it has the RTG. So let's go ahead and launch this guy. Yeah, and we're starting to get those long loading times. That's the only problem with careers. You end up sending so many craft up. And like, I don't know, I leave them up because I like having an insanely good relay network. Um, so, you just end up with lag and decaying orbits. Or not decaying orbits, but orbits that will change over time, just randomly, because of floating point errors. But such is the nature of a career mode. Alright, so let's go ahead and full throttle and make sure that my thrust weight is good. 1.2, yep. So let's go. Alright, I did start turning slightly early there. Alright. Pretty clean detachment despite the early gravity turn. Alright, that was an extremely efficient launch trajectory, if I do say so myself. Alright, so we'll go to about there. And of course we will quick save and physics warp on up. And fairing deployment. Alright, and we can deploy solar panels and disable control on the canards. Alright, so quick save. And as per usual, at this apoapsis, we are going to circularize. Alright, So let's go ahead and get turned on over. Alright, so let's go ahead and quick save, and we will warp on ahead to this burn. Alright, so slightly late, but alright. Ooh, I actually overburned there. But it should be fine. So now I want to go into the map view. I want to zoom out and set Joule as our target. And then I want to show eject angle. I want to add a maneuver here. And I want to add 1982.1 to the prograde and negative 129.7 to the normal, and then I can close the alarm details and delete the alarm. And give me that maneuver, please. And actually, we have, fascinatingly, what is happening here? Okay, so we would go out there, and then we would be along this purple line. We would have another Kerbal encounter in 6 years. I'm gonna add a few orbits. So I was like, I don't think that's what was meant to be happening. Okay. Joule, of course, has a pretty big sphere of influence, but I'm going to continue adding orbits here, seeing how close we can get. And this is actually pretty equatorial. Oh, and we have a mud encounter, so we're just going to get on past that. Alright, I'm okay with this. Probably mess around with it a little bit. A little bit of this, actually, normal. Okay, that actually kind of got rid of it. So we probably just need some radial. Actually, no, this is as good as it's going to get. Yeah. So that's fine, honestly. If we were to let that occur, we would get, of course, flung actually not that far out compared to where we were getting flung from here. But we're going to go ahead and line up for that burn, and we're going to add that as an alarm. Give me like a 5-minute warning. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and quick save and then jump back to the Figaro 7. Alright, so get pointed back at this maneuver. Maneuver should still be the same. Yeah, we still have that Moho encounter, so that's all good. If it'll get turned over. Alright, come on, get lined up. Alright, so I'm going to quick save, and then I'm going to go ×5, and then I'm going to jump ahead. Oh, and it started flashing. My apologies. I couldn't really find a spot to get rid of the flashing. Okay, good to know for the future that that's the spot. Alright, and because this is a inner planet, we are of course going to be burning on the light side. Or not inner planet, but planet closer than Kerbal to the sun. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and focus view on Moho. And I'm going to quick save, and I'm going to warp slightly ahead. Alright, I'm going to slow it on down. So we want to make sure that we get this encounter. Oh, and there it is. I'm just going to keep it pointed. Let's point retrograde. So I'm going to point retrograde, and I'm going to thrust limit to like 3. So I'm just going to let it get turned on around. My goodness, this thing is slow to turn. We only have 98 meters per second left in the stage. Interesting. Okay. Of course, this is very close to the sun, so it looks a lot bigger from here. Alright, let's go ahead and see how close we can get this. It's not exactly close. Let's try radial out. I should have put RCS on this so that I could just do this precisely, but let's go ahead and try radial out. And if that doesn't work, we'll try radial in. In fact, I can see if it's going to work right about now. Ooh, it worked for a second. Let's try the normals, actually. So let's try normal. Alright, so normal, how's that going to go? Oop, we needed anti-normal. waiting for it to get turned on over. Alright, so I'm just going to see how close I can get with this. So I'd like to get a little bit of in-space low science when we get there. But I don't actually know where in-space low is over Moho. Okay, so at this point, I think we actually need to go retrograde. Or, prograde. Prograde is going to move it this way. I don't know if you can see the mouse. This way. And then when is our next alarm? So we have a bunch of transfer window alarms. And then a lot of our contract alarms. So really, after we do these transfer windows, and after we figure out what missions we're going to do next, we need to start getting some of our rescue contracts. Actually, we need to do a lot of our contracts at that point. Okay. Oh. That should be in space low. I would be shocked if it's not. Okay, so we're going to leave it at that. I would like to focus back on the ship. And I'm going to say go 5x and then warp to here. So I want to make sure that we're not going to lose our encounter with that. Yeah, so it kind of jumped a little bit, which is quite annoying. So focus view. Yeah, that jumped quite a bit. That's fine as long as it doesn't jump too much more. Alright, so we are out of Kerbal Sphere of Influence. How's our periapsis looking? 164 even. I don't think that's going to be in space low. Let's see. I know there's a table somewhere. Let's see if I can find it real fast. I know Kerbin's is what, 250? Yeah, no viewer interaction. Unfortunate, no. KSP in space. Also, I don't have like all of my windows have moved slightly, so I'm not like the chat window isn't in my like in the normal spot where I look at it. What am I looking for? I'm looking for in space low versus in space high. Let's see. So for Moho, it's 80 kilometers. Okay. So I guess we can try and burn radial in when we get there, and that'll be fine. But I'm going to add a sphere of influence change. Give me like a 10-minute warning. Alright, so that's going to be here. And now I want to jump over to the Figaro 8. In fact, let me save that table, actually. And I closed it, like an idiot. For Joule, it's 4 million meters, which is quite a lot. Alright, so I'm going to get lined up for this node. And we are going to do 5x and then warp ahead. Okay, so we can delete that alarm on close, we can quick save, and we can, of course, go 5x and warp the rest of the way there. Alright, and this is probably, well actually, this clock window is probably going to be the last of this craft design. The rest of them are definitely going to be slightly different craft design, I think. Especially for these outer planets, we need to put RTGs on there. Oh, and I just realized our Dres and our Erlem windows are within a couple hours of each other. That's going to be interesting. Although I included insertion on this one. This one's just a flyby. Okay, good to know. Regardless. Oh, I need to be focusing, first of all, let me do that. I need to focus on Joule. Focus view. And then go back to this view. And burn. Alright, and we are exiting Kerbal Sphere of Influence. And stage. And we of course have all the RTGs we could ever need. That's about 12,000 electric charge storage. So interesting, like, it says like efficiency 1 generator nominal. I'm not aware of any situation that would make them not nominal. I mean, maybe if they're running too hot? Oh, 9K. Oh god. That's terrifying, because you'll probably get that before the end of the stream. Alright, have we entered Joule Sphere of Influence yet? No. Oh, we're actually getting harmonic encounters, which is interesting. Alright, so I'm going to let this get closer. Should I just have GeoGuessr ready to go? Alright, that's actually a slightly better encounter than this one. That is not going to be in space low, though. Whatever. So I want to make sure that this doesn't move too much, so I'm going to focus back on our ship. I'm going to go 5x, and I'm going to warp to here. How much did that shift our periapsis? That's the sun. I want the jewel periapsis. Hello? Not by that much, actually. Okay. Pleasantly surprised. So let's go 5x, 10x, 50x, 100x. Alright, so we are now in space over the sun. Looks like our debris entered just behind us. Which we do have a lot of stuff just kind of floating around here now. Okay, so that's the sun. I want to see our jewel periapsis. Thank you. Up. Did that unset target? No, I wanted to focus view actually. Okay, so our periapsis didn't change too much. Regardless, I want to pull down our alarms. And I want to add a sphere of influence change. Give me 10-minute warning. That is 3 years. That's actually just before our Sarna sphere of influence entry. Although I'm realizing I put an RA 100 relay on here, and I didn't actually mean to. Regardless, I want to jump over to this ship now, because we have a bit of a complicated mission happening now. Alright, because this is, a few streams ago, we launched the Helvetica 1, which has 2 satellites attached to it. And both of these satellites have to stay in orbit of Eve. This ship does not. So that's going to be tricky. And the way I think I'm going to do that is, first of all, I'm going to quick save. And we're about 20 days away from entering Eve's sphere of influence. So I'm going to warp ahead to, let's see. I'm going to warp ahead to here. We could probably see Eve approaching. That's night on. Where's the sun? So Eve should be like around here. Maybe directly out. I mean, we're time warping right now, so we're probably catching up to it actually. Like there's Moho. Where's Eve? I don't know. I mean, we're going to be rapidly approaching it regardless. There's Gilly. So Eve should be... Oh, there's Eve. Hello, Eve, with Gilly way out there. So, first Kerbal's to visit another planet. It's just a flyby. But Jeb, Bill, and Mildon are going to be the first Kerbals to fly by another planet. So, I'm going to warp inside the sphere of influence of Eve. And we have a lot to do here. First of all, are we going to get in space low? I think we are. I have the table pulled up, so I can go ahead and check. In space low around Eve is where? Oh yeah, we're easily getting in space low. Okay, so we are now in Eve's sphere of influence, which means immediately I want to start running some science. We didn't bring a lot. In fact, did we bring any? Oh, we did. Okay. Oh yeah, because this is a funky looking craft. So log pressure data, done. I also brought an experiment storage unit, which is good. Log gravity data, and we can do the gravity data over and over, which is nice. Keep those. Keep that. That. Can't do seismic data, that's fine. Go ahead and retract the boom please, and run me a crew report. And we're going to have all three of them EVA at some point. But for now, it's going to be Jeb. So Jeb is going to run an EVA report and board. And we are going to collect all of that data. And then I believe that was in over the Eastern Sea. Let's just check. Okay, it's the same biome. Good to know. This time, Bill is going to EVA. And you're going to store your experiment in there. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to retract this solar panel. And I'm going to decouple the satellite. I'm going to switch to it. Because what I would like to do is you are going to be my guinea pig. To barely capture, how much delta V do you need? Alright. 220. That is, not gonna lie, a little more than I expected. So give me a 2-minute warning on your maneuver. That's in 2 days. I want to switch back to this craft. I'm going to extend the solar panel. I'm going to retract this one. I'm going to quick save. This is where things get a little dicey. I'm going to decouple. I want this one. On this one, I'm going to pick a radial. And activate this engine. I'm just going to barely burn. What I'm looking to do, and actually I'm going to burn normal, which I don't know where I'm controlling from. I should be controlling from here. Oh, and you know what? I'm realizing now that I totally was gonna just undock these. That's fine. But instead I decoupled them. That's totally fine. Basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get it to where these are not going to be at the same time. So I'll do this one slightly late. Oh, and you know what I could do? Okay, I'm going to add this to the maneuver thing. Give me a 2 minutes warning. I'm going to undock these. So this guy obviously has no control, but this guy who should be undocked here, just face another direction. Oh, and for some reason the maneuver stuck with this guy, which is quite annoying. And it's gonna, okay, give me 1 second. So that is the 233 one. This is the one in 27, so I'm gonna delete this one. Okay, so you, I need you to have this maneuver node actually. So we'll do that, and somehow that is more delta V. That doesn't really make sense to me, but whatever. So you should be on the alarm list. So you, do me a favor and extend your solar panel. Now this guy could capture actually. Although, oh, did I put a decoupler down here? I totally did. I didn't need to. regardless, I want to switch to this one now. I want to make sure that you're being controlled from here. And I want to undock this. And annoyingly, it just did the same thing. So delete that alarm. No, I need you? No. Which one do I need? I need you. I need you to face a different direction. And then I'm gonna have to re-add your maneuver. Nope, give me that maneuver, please. Now, for some reason, you're saying, okay, so let me activate that engine so that you know you have delta V. There we go. And I'm going to add your maneuver to the alarm clock. So, I'm going to, let's see. Really quickly, what I'm going to do, I don't think I can rename this vessel because it's just kind of there now. So that's going to be annoying. I want to go back to the crewed craft. There we go. Out of curiosity, how much would it take for you to capture into a circular orbit? Not a lot. I mean, it's a long burn time, don't get me wrong. Okay, and at that point it becomes a lot. I'm just going to let it do its thing. So, I just want to make sure that we're still below. You know what? I'm going to burn retrograde. I'm just going to tell this guy to point retrograde right now. And I want to bring this guy just above the atmosphere. I'm not going to go into the atmosphere because the atmosphere is incredibly dangerous. But yeah, because this should increase the time until periapsis, which is ideal. Yeah, I'm going to have them get real close. Alright. Eve's atmosphere starts at 90. So as long as we stay above 90, we're going to be fine. But go ahead and give me an alarm. Can I add an alarm at the periapsis? Yes. So give me an alarm 5 minutes before the periapsis. Yeah. That should be fine. What is this doing to our final orbit? We're not quite back up at Kerbal, so we're definitely going to have to do some finagling on the way out. We want to bring these guys home. We're not just leaving them stranded in space. But we do have a lot of delta V to work with, so I'm not worried about it at all. These should be on separate stages. I'm just noticing that they are on the same stage. Give me separate stages for those, please. Thank you. Alright, so I'm going to quick save, and I'm going to go over to this maneuver. Okay, so let's go ahead and make sure that we are controlling from here. Point to the node. Collapse the alarm clock, please. And quick save, 5x first, warp. So we are, of course, going to drift a little further and further away from our other ships. That is ideal. That is what I wanted to happen. I wanted to do all the undocking way far out so that we would drift pretty far away. There would be absolutely no danger of colliding with any of our other ships. So, we have no probe control. I'm sorry? We have no electric charge. So I'm going to load a quick save. So let me, okay. Tell you how I'm gonna do this. Extend solar panel, extend solar panel. That's a dead one. That's the, what? We're just switching between these two? We are, okay. So I need to very quickly switch to, oh dear. I need to switch to the tracking station actually. So, oh dear. Which one is this? It's whichever one has the later maneuver node. So it's one of these two. Might be this one. So maybe a couple minutes of just me messing around with things, trying to figure out. You know what? We got the right craft the first try, so that's fine. Let's jump to this guy. I was afraid that there would be a couple of minutes of just me fiddling around trying to find the right craft, but no, we found it the first try. Okay. So, my distant object enhancement seems to not want to show much right now. That's strange. Did distant object enhancement stop working? No, it didn't. It's just not showing Gilly right now. Fascinating. Hello, Lacey. Alright, so once again, now that we have the solar panels out, 5x and then warp. Now I'll tell you what, I did not make sure that we were controlling from here, so I'm just going to do that once we unwarp. Fair enough. Alright, delete close. Are you still warping? No, okay. Control from here. Okay, we're good. Oh no. The thing is, I don't even have the window set up right now, so I'd have to take some time to set it up as well, but that's fine. Alright, so about another minute 22 to go on this. Alright, burn. That's an interesting... That must be where the sun is right now. Alright, and we just wanted to barely capture. We are indeed captured. So I'm not going to mess with this one. I'm going to immediately switch to the other one. Alright, so I'm going to quick save. I like how the solar panel was still unfolding. Contract parameter. Okay. World first milestones and contract parameter. That's nice. Anyways, how long until this alarm? Oh, we got a while. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this alarm, and then I'm going to do 5x and warp to here. Now, of course, we're doing this burn when we are behind the planet from the sun. So YouTube's compression will absolutely love this. Now, I'm surprised we can kind of see... It feels like we can't really see Eve's atmosphere right now, which is interesting. I don't know if that's a product of Parallax or if things have just broken. Because, like, Eve is supposed to have a really thick atmosphere, and I feel like I can't see it at all. Which, I mean, would be useful later for when we try and land, but... Alright, so we're of course going to capture this satellite as well. Now, it looks like I did include a Science Junior on this one. Oh, you know what? Was one of them supposed to have a Science Junior and one of them supposed to have a thermometer? Yep. Okay. Oh, I overburned. That's fine. So this one specifically has to go into the 63.4 degree orbit, whereas the other one has to go into the equatorial orbit. Okay, that is good to know. Regardless though, this one is also captured. So I'm actually going to rename this one, just so I know. Helvetica 1, Konya Relay. And so the other one, which is somewhere right now, this guy, which for some reason is now not showing on the map, frustratingly. Should be like over here. Yeah, that one. That one's just going to be the stationary. So now we're going to switch over to the crewed craft. We're going to jump to ship. Alright, so we are currently not in space low. I'm going to go ahead and delete this alarm. And let me just see if I can get another gravity scan right now. We totally can. Okay. So I'm going to select all. And I'm just going to warp to, oh dear, lots of orbital lines happening right now. I'm going to warp to about here. Alright, so we are now in space low over Eve, so we can run all of our science again. In fact, I'm going to tell it to aim the camera up here. There we go. Because that'll make this a lot easier. So conduct material study, log pressure data, log gravity. Oh, I did not reset the... yeah, that's your in-space near. I did not... restore these, so I'll have to do that in a second. Although this one seemed to restore on its own, which is strange. No clue. Is that all of our experiments? We need temperature data. Cannot do our what do you call it? You know, the seismic data right now. But I'm going to have our scientist this time grab an EVA report, and I'm going to have him actually restore these experiments this time. There we go. And I'm going to have our scientist board. I'm going to observe the mystery goo. And we're going to, of course, collect all of that data. And then I'm going to run everything one more time. So crew report, and run our gravity data. Although this is actually a new biome, so pressure data. Although I need to restore, didn't I just restore this? No, okay. Magnetometer report. Seismic data, oh, right, can't do seismic. Temperature. Did I already do pressure again? I don't think I did. No, okay. Alright, already did. So what can be collected? Only the gravity scan? So, hello. Been a while. Welcome back. And then I want to restore this guy. Yeah, it's been a while, stars. Ooh, woo. So welcome back. Alright, so grab that. Board. What can we collect? We can collect nothing. That's fine. I want to observe this one more time. Keep that. And let's just see if we can get any more gravity data on the way out. Peaks, yes we can. So, collect that. I'm actually going to pin this open. And I'm going to, not you, I'm going to pin this guy open. Alright, so that's still peaks. I'm going to reset that. I don't actually know where the biome transitions happen. Looks like we're about to pass over a new one. Explodium C, we may already have that. No, keep that pinned. Yeah, we already have that. So review data and reset. Shallows, I don't think we have that one. I could be doing EVA reports as well, but I think we'll do those. Explodium C we already have. The other thing is we're not getting any electric charge right now since we're on the dark side. I'm just going to wait a little bit until we're obviously over a new biome. Lowlands I think we already have. Nope, we didn't. Okay, that's good to know. Midlands, do we have that? We do, okay. So reset that. Let's do peaks we definitely already have. Still peaks. Shallows we already have. Shallows again. Don't think we're going to pass over this crater. Shallows again. Lowlands we have. And we should be in space high now, so I'm going to collect all. Lowlands. Collect that. I couldn't collect that actually, so reset. lowlands still. Shallows? Did we already have that? We did. Whatever. I think I'm just gonna stop the science collection there because now I need to very quickly move or set Kerbal as target. And I'm just going to see if I can force an encounter. So in about an hour, I'm going to add a maneuver here. Now, unfortunately, we're kind of on the wrong I mean, we're in a very strange inclination. I feel like radial out would be the best option for this, which is unfortunate because that uses a lot more delta V than necessary. It definitely was the best option, though, because that was a semi-close encounter. Not really, actually. We need to change our inclination. This improving it? No, that's making it worse. I'm gonna get our inclination as close as I can. Oh, actually? Ooh. Hang on, that was a little spicy. Oh no, don't add a maneuver. Oh dear. Let's go back to here. Okay. Let me get rid of all of this. I think that's okay. That's fine for now. We're just gonna point towards this maneuver. Is it gonna? Okay, there we go. It'd be nice if it turned.
Let's just say.
Oop, that was weird. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Turn! Turn! It keeps like not taking my inputs for some reason. I don't even know anymore. No, take my inputs. Alright, there we go. Alright, so about 30 seconds left to go. I'm gonna quick save again. I'm a little paranoid. Yeah, goodbye, Eve. Nice to fly by. And we of course got a Kerbal and Minmus right there. I can't believe you can actually see Minmus separate from Kerbal. It's kind of insane. But regardless, we're burning. And I could arguably physics warp this, but there's a staging move, so. Yep. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and physics warp this burn. Looks like we're drifting off the node slightly, so I'm going to just scooch on over. And then continue physics warping. Oh. We'll call that good. So I want to, first of all, how long until we get out of the sphere of influence of Eve? 1 day, 5 hours, 52 minutes. Let's just go ahead and warp our way out. Now, this is our debris. These are our captured satellites that we actually care about. So all of our debris is just going to sail right on out. Alright, and we're just going to warp straight on through this sphere of influence change. Now remember, our other crew is right behind. Well, that's not right behind. I believe that's actually a correction burn. Come to think of it. Actually, they're back here. I do believe that is a correction burn, but I'm not sure. I guess we shall see. Anyways, so now I'm just gonna do this the old-fashioned way and force it. We have like, 4,000 delta V. Like this should be fine. So at this ascending node, I'm gonna burn like that. That's in 50 days, so I'm going to add that maneuver. Give me like 4 minutes warning. So that'll be right after our ion maneuver. So I'm going to switch over to the ion craft now. So what is this maneuver doing again? This maneuver is where on the orbital path? It's there, and I believe it is giving us our even counter. Okay, good to know. So I'm going to quick save. I'm going to focus view on Eve. But then I'm going to, yeah, because this is getting us nice and close. Of course, we have all these orbital lines here just kind of doing their own thing. So I'm going to get pointed to this node. Now, does this guy have a probe core on it? No. Okay, so I'll have to check that. We don't have a probe core on there. I'm not sure we're going to have control if there's not a pilot on there. I didn't think about that. Anyways. Alright, so I'm going to quick save. I'm going to go 5x and then warp ahead. I can actually delete this alarm. And quick save again, just in case. A little paranoid that deleting that alarm is going to cause some weirdness. I'm surprised it's not warping faster, honestly. Alright, so we are about a minute away from this burn. Alright, so focusing on Eve, 1, 0, burn. Okay, so let's get over to this node. Alright, so that's pretty good actually. So when is that sphere of influence change? Like if I click here, that's in 33 days. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a maneuver here. And I'm going to capture. Just going to barely capture. Alright. So that's going to be 343. That's fine. And I'm going to add that maneuver and give me like 4 minutes warning. That's going to be here. Okay. So I think the last thing I'm going to do on the stream is just execute this maneuver. Actually, tell you what, I'll execute both maneuver nodes. So I'm going to quick save. I'm going to jump over to this ship. Alright, so let's get pointed over to this node. Funny how this craft, which was not meant to land anywhere else, has more delta V than the craft that is meant to land somewhere. We'll see how that plays out. Alright, so I'm going to minimize these alarms. First of all, I'm going to delete this alarm, 5x, and warp here. Alright, so out of curiosity, what are we bouncing through right now? It looks like it's kind of switching between the Helveticas and the Curtises. Okay, for a second it was direct connection. Because Eve is back there, of course, so we can still kind of see it, actually. Gilly's right there. Gilly is very small. Oh, we got more ion collector science. That's nice. Escape gravitational influence of Eve, and got some ion collector stuff. Alright, so quick save once again. Alright, I'm gonna physics warp this burn. Oh, I can retract this boom, actually, but... Alright. A little more. Retract the boom. I don't feel like chasing that node. Anyway, so that's probably good enough. Okay, now, can I force an encounter here? We've already passed periapsis. So I'm just gonna kind of, I might just do it at the descending node. Sure. All right, at this descending node, if I burn prograde, it sort of does what I need it to do. What if I were to toss in? Stop switching. Like encounters, please. Be great. If I were to toss in radial, it would need to be radial. Yeah, it's like doing this weird thing where it's like jumping between. Like, what is it even doing right now? Like, it seems like it wants to get closer, and then it's just jumping along the trajectory. I'm not quite sure why it's doing. Yeah, it's. Oh, because that's showing me a future encounter. Okay. So what if I were to just do this? Like that. And it really seems like that's not improving at all. Oh, that was actually decent. The thing is, this would be better if our orbit was circular. It's just that's gonna waste so much time. Hmm. Maybe I do just circular. Well, because the thing is, our apoapsis right now, I'm pretty sure is beyond Kerbin's orbit. It is. So let me burn. What happens if I burn retrograde? Yeah. Okay, so it's probably going to need to be in a couple orbits, which is extremely frustrating. I don't want to leave these guys out here for too long. Okay. Nope. Annoyingly, what I may do is I'm just going to pick a point like out here. And I'm going to circularize it here. Just going to waste so much delta V, but... .12. I mean, even if it's only somewhat circular, that's fine. This is just such a waste of delta V, but like, it shouldn't be that much to get to Kerbin from here. And if we need to, we can arrow capture a little bit. Like, I'm perfectly fine doing that. But regardless, we're going to add this to the maneuver plan. I'm going to execute this maneuver node between streams and then plan the one to capture. I'm not going to make you guys sit through yet another maneuver node, except for this one. And I'll show you guys how I'm planning this maneuver node. But we are slightly over time, so. Alright, so let's get turned on over. Oh no, this has 5698, not 3698. Okay, so I did misread how much delta V this is. Alright, so let's go ahead and 5x. And now, of course, we're going to be approaching Eve here, and we're probably bouncing off the Helvetica relays. Yeah. We are far away from Kerbin. It is a... I doubt, like, the stream can even see this. Kerbin is just a tiny dot way out here. Oh, hello, Eve. Oh, I probably should have deleted the alarm first, but delete on close, and just work the rest of the way there. Although I did want to open this mode. I just want to make sure that our periapsis doesn't dip into the atmosphere. So another, 45 seconds to go. All right. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and physics warp through this burn. Almost a pure retrograde burn, but because of the length of the burn, it is gonna take, it is gonna drift off slightly. All right, we are drifting off the node a little bit. All right. So that is captured, and that's really all I care about. So now I'm going to set Gilly as our target. And we are very rapidly approaching this ascending node, so I don't think that's where we're going to do it. No, that's in 42 seconds. So at this descending node, I'm going to pin the ascending node. At this descending node, I need to burn normal, and then I'm going to have to toss in some retrograde, otherwise we're going to escape. So toss in some retrograde. But at the same time, I need to make sure that my periapsis doesn't enter the atmosphere. Oh, too much there. I mean, 0.1 is probably good enough. And that is in 18 days. That's perfectly fine. But that is where the stream is going to end. So actually, tell you what. Let's just warp around to the day side. I am going to add this alarm just so I don't forget when I save file. All right. Now, that is where the stream is going to end. So, a little, you can see Sarnas back there. So, we have now had two sets of crew fly by Eve. One of them is now in orbit of Eve and is going to head for Gilly. So, with that, thank you all so much for watching. It has been a pleasure as always, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.